Definitely.
years.
Yes,
First
okay.
5 years.
So you have to have, you have to really have the spirit to be able to go down that journey.
Right.
And you have to have a purpose for that business, you know. And so I really feel like the first steps is really understanding what your market's going to be. You know, if you want to be a clothing designer, you know, kind of do some research and see.
Yeah, right.
You know, but I think the number one step is
Passion.
you know, is passion. You know,
Right. Loving what you
doing
do.
something that you love. Yeah.
Right. And kind of having that vision, right?
Yes, exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. And so, were there ever times where you were like, "Oh, this isn't gonna, this isn't going anywhere"?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's always, I mean, just the other day, last week, I was like, you know,
Even now, right?
this is it. I'm getting too old for this. But, you know, there's always times as an entrepreneur where you feel like giving up. But there's always something that's within you, deep within you, that says you got it, the next step, your breakthroughs around the corner.
Yeah.
And then when you get to that next step, then you know, okay, I could go another step and another step. Being an entrepreneur takes a lot of courage, takes focus, takes tenacity. It takes a whole lot to continue and go all the way to the end. It's not easy, but it's obtainable.
Right. Right. And how did you two meet?
Oh, okay. You know, it was funny because we actually brought that up the other day. I was like, how did we meet? And we were trying to connect the dots. I've probably known Susan for about 10 years, and I can honestly say she's someone that inspired me to do, you know, to kind of like really focus on what you love to do, you know. But if I can narrow it down, Susan was a program director at Girls Radio, which was a program under Mayor Menino's.
Oh, all right.
It was
great.
one of his babies.
Yes.
And so I think we got connected, I think through a mutual friend, Daphne Valerius, who's a very talented film director. And so I think Susan invited me to Girls Radio, gave us a tour. We happened to go at the right time when the mayor was there. So,
that's
you know,
great.
so from there we had a connection. And
The same passion.
Exactly.
yeah, we always
It
had
was
a
like,
connection.
you know, his fire ignited with my fire, and it was like kindred spirits. So, you know, and he loved the fact that this was an all-girls radio station, and he loved the work that was, so the whole creative energy.
Right.
That's how we kind of like connected that way.
And just saying, you know, I've known her for close to 10 years, you know, and she had moved to North Carolina and brought her program to North Carolina. I think that's where you got inspired to do the life coaching in North Carolina.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so when she came back, we're like, we got to work. We got to do something.
Right.
And so we jumped into a project called Knockout Bullying, which was with the Rocky Marciano Foundation.
Oh,
and,
nice.
we worked. We didn't.
We worked on several
Yeah,
projects.
we didn't finish that project as what we really wanted to do, but what it did was it brought us back together.
Right.
Which led us to the project we're doing today.
And I think the key is that with every entrepreneur I talk to, it's almost like you go, might not have full success at one piece, and then you work on another, and then there's success there. Then you come back together,
Definitely.
and then there's success, but you can't be afraid of failure, right?
No,
Is
Exactly.
that
No, you got to
That's
embrace.
that's part of the whole entrepreneur walk. Is sometimes you might fail, but you have to dust yourself off, get back up. I failed plenty of times, and just even you know, wanting to just throw my hands up. And I said I wanted a little quiet life. That just wasn't for me. I went to North Carolina. There were some things that I learned there, but it just brought me full circle. It brought me back because I know I had the passion to do it, and I had it was my purpose to do it. So I don't think I could quit even if I wanted to. Now, in between all those different valleys and peaks, I had several other jobs because I had to be sustained because I'm a mother.
right? Right.
And in those jobs, there were certain things that I learned out of that actually strengthened me as an entrepreneur and as a professional to enhance where I was, the ladder that I was going on.
Right, because they say too, if you want to start a business, just don't quit everything you're doing,
no.
right?
No, definitely.
Is that? Tell me a little bit about that. What is?
Well, you want to definitely have some sort of stability,
Yeah.
because it's really difficult, you know, trying to be creative and get
Pay
new
your bills.
business, and you're struggling. You know what I mean?
Right,
So
right.
so those are, you definitely want you definitely can find, if you really want to be successful, you can have a 9 to 5 and still balance your life to, get your business off the ground.
Right.
And that's what a lot of people have to do, or maybe, you can train yourself to, write a great business plan and maybe find a potential investor,
Right.
But,
But that's rare. That's like hitting the lottery,
Well, you have to build your business.
Well, I have
first.
a good friend who is a minister, and she conducts weddings, and she's gone from doing 20 weddings a year to now over to 150.
Oh, wow.
And she's based out of the New York area,
Nice.
Reverend Annie, a good friend of mine. But yeah, but it's taken years for her to kind of build that business for herself.
And I think the most important thing that made her successful, and I think as an entrepreneur, it's about your network.
Yeah.
And you have to I think the value of your network will really take your business off, and it's the people one thing, that we try to, tell our students is it's, the people that you keep around you will either make you or break you,
Yeah.
And you want to keep people around you that are going to keep building your spirit, you want to feel confident,
Right.
And, but you want to know the right people. And so I think for us, I know for me, like, I've had some ups and downs, but my network has kept me up.
Yes.
Yes.
There's been times where I fall and
You know who to call.
you call that right
Yes.
person, they put you right in front of the line.
Right. No,
And
that's great.
And that's something that I always appreciated, and that's what I want to do for other folks as well.
No, that's great. So let's talk about this great project you're working on, Dreambuilders.
Yes.
Right. So tell me about that and how you guys got involved. And it's for the legacy of Donna Summer and
Yes.
her high school. So
Yes. You want to start?
Well, go ahead.
No, you go.
Well, Dreambuilders started off with, when you are around like-minded people, it's just this energy comes off. So ideas are always popping. So we had a nonprofit for girls. And so we wanted to do something a little more. So from my consultant company, which is Dreambuilders Coaching Group, we wanted to for young people where we could just inspire and coach and help them to build their dreams. And so we were like, hey, what about Dreambuilders? We were in our office one day with another one of our colleagues, James Millord, and we was like, okay, let's do it. And then a friend of yours, knew as a family member of Donna Summers, and we just kind of like meshed it together. And I was already doing workshops, and I got a contract with Boston Public Schools, so my program was incorporated in the high schools already. So we said, well, let's pitch it to them. And
Yeah. So I mean, really, we really wanted to do something. We wanted to really build a youth program and really a mentorship. Really a program and a platform that can provide a pipeline to success, or a pipeline of following your dreams. So what we did was we merged. I was in conversation. When Donna Summers passed away.
that was like 2 years ago
yes.
now, right?
Yes, and for me, I grew up listening to Donna through my mother.
Yes,
too.
wonderful music. Yes.
And I never knew she was from Boston until probably maybe a few years before she passed, actually from my relationship with her nephew. And when she passed away, I just felt like Boston didn't really honor her the way that she should have been honored, because she's the queen of disco.
Oh, yes.
And disco is now electronic music, which is really big right now.
Right.
So
You think back to any wedding you've been to.
Oh,
Last
definitely.
Dance,
Yeah.
hot stuff.
Bad
okay.
Girls.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Toot, beep, beep, that's right.
Well, we digress.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And that's why we want to preserve her legacy. So
Yeah.
the conversation I had with her nephew was like, let's do something that can preserve her legacy. And this was right when she passed away. I gave him that call. And that conversation led to last year where, where we're just like, let's build a mural. And let's build a mural at the Burke High School where she went to school.
And she went to school there, that's right.
And of
that's
course-
in Dorchester.
Exactly. And how everything aligned was, of course, me and Susan were already talking about building a program called Dreambuilders. We felt we should put everything together.
Oh, that's so awesome.
And the awesome thing about it was Susan's program was out of the Burke, so she already had
Oh my gosh.
a direct connection with the
Stars
Burke.
align,
Exactly.
literally.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So we knew our conversation was going to lead to something special. So so we got permission from her family to do the mural, but we wanted to not just do a mural. We wanted to preserve a legacy, and we wanted to teach the students that go to the Burke that, hey, there was a student here that looked like you, that came from the same neighborhood. I'm sorry. And she made it.
And she had a dream, first of all.
Right.
And she pursued her dream, and she succeeded in her dream. So my thing is, I feel like God has given each and every person some type of gift or talent, some kind of specialty that you're good at, and yet you do effortlessly, and that you would do it even for no money, whether you bake cupcakes really well, whether you know how to walk a dog really well, babysit, whether you have a gift to draw or sing, and if you follow your passion, you know, and your purpose. And so, but to be able to dream, it takes a lot of courage. To go after your dream takes a lot of courage. But we want to give them a living example of somebody that looks like them, to say, hey, they could do it, I can do it.
So tell me about the mural now. So you have the idea, it's born, and now what's the hope for it?
Yeah, so we're gonna launch the program in April, which is just around the corner.
Yes.
And so we're gonna also start the mural. So part of the program is the mural production, which we're working with Dean, who's one of the greatest graffiti artists in the city. So we're excited to work with him. So the mural project, of course, is just one element of it. We're also going to be doing murals with the students as well. Okay. So we're going to be working between, right now we're still recruiting our students, but we're going to be working between 10 and 20 students. Okay. So once we define what their passion is, what their dream is, then we're going to align them with professionals in that field. So, so if you're you want to pursue an acting career, we're going to, part of that program, like one of our workshops, we're going to bring in someone in our network that's going to come in and provide that mentorship, and not just for that one day. We want to create that pipeline, so when that young
create those lasting, because part of the curriculum is we're going to take them through the steps of just talking about, just having them to open up to say, hey, what is your dream? What is your passion? If Martin Luther King didn't have a dream, if so-and-so didn't have a dream, your dream should make it something better. And just talk about having dialogues. And then part of the curriculum is taking them through the steps. What is an entrepreneur?
Yeah, the steps,
What is a leader? What does it take to be a leader? So that's part of the 8-week curriculum, along with having them to identify, I think I always wanted to be an attorney. We'll connect them, or a judge, or a teacher. We'll connect them, and then they'll actually start creating their own roadmap. What do you have to do right now? What's your roadmap that you need to take? First, you need to get out of high school. Right. First, you need to increase your grades. Yes. You know what I mean? If you really want to pursue this dream. So we take them through the steps in the roadmap, and then we have them do their own murals, which is a reminder of their dream. So when they feel like they want to go off course or feel discouraged, they can look at what they built, and then those murals are their small murals are gonna be at that Burke High School.
That's great. What a full circle, because Donna Summer, she, kind of followed her passions and became a great singer. But what I want to have you do right now is tell me, where can people find you on Facebook and this program?
Well, right now we're on Facebook, which is facebook.com Dreambuilders. YP. Okay. But we're also doing an Indiegogo campaign. Okay. Because we're raising donations to help pay for the mural, but we're also raising donations for some of the expenses within the program. All right. And you can find, if you want to donate or volunteer, you can go on Indiegogo.com /DreambuildersYP. So the same domain, but or you can email us at dreambuildersyouthproject@gmail.com,
and then if you want to get a hold of, if any of our guests want to get a hold of me, they can, and I can connect them to you as well.
Well, we're connected. So
we're connected. That's right. That's right. But let me ask you, I ask every guest who's on the show, what would you say to someone who's looking for a little bit of encouragement to follow their passions and dreams? I'll start with you, Susan.
I would tell them to just get connected. if they have a passion, whatever their passion is, make sure you connect with some right people. You can hire a coach. I do coaching. So what's one of the things I do for adults is when they come in, I do one-on-one life coaching, business plan coaching. So the programs that I work with, I will walk you through the steps. Hey, I really